Hey besties, today's project is this bandana scarf. The pattern is so easy. It's mostly double crochets and single crochets, so in no time you can actually finish this project. I also use this pattern to make a skirt some months ago using Dee and Shyler's tutorials, so I'm going to release that video next. So these are the materials that I used. I used this yellow yarn. I have never used yellow to completely make a project, so this is the first time I did that. Then I used this 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, so just use the crochet hook that's the right size for your yarn. Then I used a darning needle to sew in my loose ends. So I made a YouTube short last week showing how to use a sewing needle in place of a darning needle, so you can check it out if you don't have a darning needle. Then I used a pair of scissors. We're going to start by making a slip knot. So you get your yarn and you make an X like this, then you pull it. So this forms a slip knot. I also made a YouTube short last week showing how to make a slip knot using the second method, so you can check it out. So you insert your hook and now you're going to chain 5. This is the first chain, then the second chain, then the third chain, then the fourth chain, and the fifth chain. After making the chains, we're going to make 3 double crochets in the first chain. So you turn your work around and make a double crochet in that first chain. This is how to make a double crochet. After making the first double crochet, you're going to make 2 more double crochets in that same hole. This is the second double crochet. Now we're going to make the third double crochet. After the third double crochet, you're going to chain 2. Then make 3 more double crochets in that same hole. This is the first double crochet. And we're making the second double crochet. And now the third double crochet. Then chain 1. And make 1 more double crochet in that same hole. And see the triangle being formed. So the whole idea of the scarf is to build on this triangle. So to make the next row, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're going to make 3 double crochets in that space where we chained 1 on the previous row. So that space there, going to make 3 double crochets. This is the first double crochet, and the second double crochet, and the third double crochet, and chain 1, and in the chain 2 space we're going to make 3 double crochets, then chain 2 and make another 3 double crochets in that space since it's the tip of the triangle. So this is the first double crochet, and the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet. So we're going to chain 2 and make 3 more double crochets in that same space. That's the first double crochet, and we're making the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, and chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that space there between the 3 double crochets and that chain. So you're going to make 3 double crochets there. It's the first double crochet, then the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet. Then chain 1 and make 1 final double crochet. So now you can see that the triangle has got bigger. So at each of the sides we just chain 1 in between, but at the tip we chained 2. So we're just going to build on that. So we repeat the pattern that we did before. So you chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in that space between the 3 double crochets and the final one, we make 3 double crochets there. This is the first double crochet, and the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, then you chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that space. Since it's at the side we only chained 1, but if we were at the tip we would have chained 2. So now let's make the 3 double crochets in that space. So this is the first double crochet, and now the second double crochet, and the third double crochet, then we'll chain 1, and I'm going to make 3 double crochets then chain 2 and make another 3 double crochets since we're at the tip of the triangle. So this is the first double crochet, and the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, then we chain 2 since we're at the tip, and make another 3 double crochets in that same hole. Here's the first, and the second, then the third double crochet, then we're going to chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that space. So this is the first double crochet, then the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, and we're going to chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that space, straight into the space, not inside the chain. So this is the first double crochet, then the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, then we chain 1 and make a final double crochet in that same space. So now I'm sure you can see the pattern that we're following. As the sides are increasing, the triangle is getting bigger. So now we're going to repeat this process in the next row. When we get to the sides, we chain 1 in between each of the 3 double crochets. We chain 1, but when we get to the tip, we chain 2. So I'm going to repeat the pattern again. So chain 4, then make a double crochet in that space. So this is the first double crochet, then the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet. Then chain 1, and make 3 double crochets in the next space. So this is the first double crochet, and the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet. Then chain 1 and make a double crochet, and make 3 double crochets in the next space. So there's the first double crochet, and the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, then chain 1. So since we're at the tip, you're going to make 3 double crochets, then chain 2 and make another 3 double crochets in that same space. So this is the first double crochet, and now the second double crochet, then the third double crochet, then chain 2 and make 3 double crochets in that same space. This is the first double crochet, then I'm going to make the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet. So you chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in the next space. That's the first double crochet. This is the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet. Then you chain 1 and make 3 double crochets. And chain 1, and in that space we're going to make 3 double crochets, then chain 1 and make a final double crochet. So that's how we end the triangle. So these are the 3 double crochets. So now we chain 1, then we make a final double crochet in that hole. Now we can see that the triangle is bigger, so we're just going to keep repeating this pattern till we get the size that we want the scarf to be. You can see that the sides are increasing, so from the first one that had only a cluster of 3 double crochets, the next one had 2 on the side, the next one had 3, so it just kept increasing like that. So we're going to continue this. So chain 4, then make 3 double crochets in that space. Then chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in the next space. And I'm going to make third double crochet, and chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that next space. Then chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that space. And chain 1. Since we're getting to the tip, we're going to make 3 double crochets, then we'll chain 2 and make another 3 double crochets in that same space. So this is the second double crochet, and now the third double crochet, then chain 2 and make 3 double crochets in that same space. That's the tip. So now we're going to repeat the pattern that we've been making on the sides. So you chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in that space. Then chain 1 and make 3 double crochets in the next space. And chain 1, make 3 double crochets. Then we chain 1, and in the final space we make 3 double crochets and chain 1 and make the final double crochet. So this is the first double crochet, then the second, and the third double crochet. And chain 1 and make 1 more double crochet. So that's the end of this row. So you can see the triangle. So this is just what we repeat till we get the size that we want the scarf to be. So this is my scarf when I finished making the rows. I just made it long enough for me to tie and for it to cover my hair. So now to finish it, after making the last double crochet, you're going to insert your hook. Yeah, so in this clip I wanted to show you guys how the middle aligned. You can see how all those chain 2 at the center, they just formed into a nice V at the top. So yeah, so now we're going to chain 2 to finish up the scarf. Then you pull your yarn and get your scissors and cut it. Then you're going to remove the other side and then you pull it to tighten it. Yeah. So you're going to get your darning needle and put the yarn into it. I'm actually curious, how do you guys put your yarn into your darning needle once and it works? Because I am so shocked that this stuff entered inside at once. So anyways, we're going to sew in the loose end right now. So just put the yarn inside it so that it won't unravel later on. So this is how I sewed it in. So I just put it inside like this. And I put it again. I don't think there's any rules to do this, just to fit it in so that it won't loosen later on. So right now I'm just sewing it in anywhere that I feel like putting it inside. I'm also trying to make it neat so that it won't be squashed in one side. I may not sew it in as many times as I did, but I just tend to sew in my loose ends so much so that nothing pops out later on. And cut it. Now we're going to sew in the loose end at the middle. I used only one ball of yarn, so like I already have two loose ends, but if you used another ball of yarn, you may have more loose ends. So you just sew in all the loose ends on your scarf. So this middle, I just tightened it a bit and I sewed it into the double crochets there. And this is how I did it. And I tied it. Yeah, sometimes when I'm sewing in my loose ends, I just put a little knot there and I pull it very tight so that you can't even notice the knot. And I cut it. Then I try to tuck it in so that it won't be visible. So that's it for today's tutorial. I'm going to be releasing the tutorial for the skirt next. So till then, bye!